hum of the generator was my constant companion, a familiar rhythm to my remote work life in Lagos. For a year, Amara was just a name on a Teams call, a brilliant colleague in our tech firm, a pixelated face on my screen. We would talk for hours about project deliverables, the market trends, even the occasional office gist, but it was always strictly professional. I lived in Surulere. She was somewhere on the island. Our worlds were connected by fiber optics, not by the Lagos roads. Then came the big company retreat, the one where we finally met in person. The moment I saw her walk into the Lekki office conference room, a different kind of current ran through me. She was not just a face on the screen anymore. She was vibrant, captivating. Her smile, even when she greeted me professionally, held a warmth I had not perceived digitally. That day, something shifted. Her team's messages started to change, becoming less formal, laced with a casual Omo or Abeg. She would ask about my weekend, share a funny meme. I felt an undeniable pull, like the gravity of Lagos traffic drawing me in. I finally got her number and Instagram, hoping to bridge the digital gap, but that is where the confusion began. Online, my texts would often linger, sometimes for hours. Her replies, when they came, were often short, concise. Only liners. It felt like I was doing all the heavy lifting, pushing the conversation uphill like a hawker, pushing his cart on a busy street. It was a stark contrast to our endless, easy-flowing conversations on Teams, where we would talk for what felt like forever. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe I would used up all our talk allowance during work hours. I just could not reconcile the online Amara with the one I was starting to see in person. Still, whenever we had another in-person meeting in Victoria Island, or even a casual lunch near our office in Marina, it was like a different person entirely. She would gravitate towards me, stick to my side, her laughter ringing out easily. Outside of work discussions, her energy was infectious. She would share hilarious gist about her day, ask about my family, even complain about the infamous Lagos traffic with a twinkle in her eye. The connection was undeniable, palpable. It was a beautiful, terrifying wahala. My head was spinning. What was this dance we were doing? Then came the team bonding Saturday at a resort in Epe. The whole day, it felt like Amara and I were in our own bubble. We were paired for almost every activity, sharing jokes, talking about everything and nothing. At lunch, while savoring some grilled fish and jollof rice, she remembered a small, obscure restaurant I would mentioned weeks ago, a hidden gem in Lekki. I said I wanted to try. Ah, that place, she exclaimed, her eyes lighting up. I really want to try it too. We should go together, Kunle. Seriously, we should. My heart did a somersault. We should go together. That phrase echoed in my mind, a beacon of hope. A few days later, another work event. I seized the opportunity. Amara, I offered, trying to sound casual, I am heading that way after work. I can pick you up and drop you off at your place in Ikoyi, no wahala. She smiled, her accent quick and easy. My confidence surged. On the drive there, navigating the familiar chaos of Third Mainland Bridge, I brought up the restaurant again. You know that spot we talked about in Lekki? How about we go there next Friday? Maybe even leave work a bit early. Her answer was immediate, without a single hesitation. Yes, I beg, let us do it. Then, as we drove towards her place in Ikoyi, she started talking, unprompted, about her past relationships. She recounted a recent breakup, her voice tinged with a raw honesty. Her ex, she said, had admitted he was not planning on marriage, and that was a deal breaker for her. I date to marry, Kunle, she stated, looking out at the glittering lights of the high-rise buildings. No time for games. It hit me like a revelation. Was she telling me this because she saw a future with me? Was she setting her intentions clear? My mind raced, trying to decipher the layers of her words. When we finally arrived at her gate, she did not jump out. Instead, she stayed in the passenger seat, talking, for 10 solid minutes. We just sat there, the soft glow of the dashboard illuminating her face, discussing everything from work gossip to her plans after leaving the company. She even started suggesting other places, other experiences that we should try. My heart pounded, filled with a cocktail of excitement and overwhelming confusion. Every fiber of my being wanted to believe this was a sign, a clear declaration of interest. But then I would remember her short texts, and the doubt would creep back in, insidious and cold. That night, sleep was a luxury I could not afford. My mind was a damn full bus on a busy Friday evening, full of conflicting thoughts, each one shouting louder than the last. Was I reading too much into it? Was she just being friendly, Nigerian friendly, with someone she genuinely enjoyed talking to, especially as she was transitioning out of the company? The friend zone. The dreaded dark abyss of the friend zone. Every sweet word, every shared laugh could easily be just that friendship. Maybe it was just going out as colleagues. The wahala of not knowing, of constantly second guessing, was becoming unbearable. The week crawled by. Amara's text remained short, barely acknowledging my efforts. It was like a cruel joke, the real life warmth extinguished by a few taps on a screen. The day of our date arrived. I picked her up again from my Ikoyi apartment. The drive to the Lekki restaurant was quieter than before, filled with a heavy anticipation from my end. At the restaurant, the food was delicious suya, grilled prawns, a perfect jollof. But the conversation, though pleasant, felt lighter. I tried to steer it towards us, towards what she would say in the car, but she deftly redirected, always back to safe, neutral topics. The reality began to set in. As I dropped her off later, the usual Lagos night sounds, honking cars, distant music seemed to mock my confusion. This time, she did not linger. A quick thanks for dinner, Kunle, a polite smile, and she was out of the car, disappearing behind her gate. No, we should go here is no extended gist. The clarity, harsh and cold, washed over me. Her in-person warmth, her willingness to share, her suggestions of future us outings, they were gestures of genuine, deep friendship, not romance. The thought of marriage, her past relationships, she was simply sharing with a trusted confidant, not a potential lover. My heart sank, a heavy stone in my chest. The next morning, I woke up with a strange sense of calm. The confusion was gone, replaced by a quiet acceptance. It was not the answer I wanted, but it was an answer nonetheless. Amara was leaving the company soon, moving on to a new chapter. And so was I, in a way. I would learn a tough lesson about reading signals, about the difference between friendly warmth and romantic intent, especially in the vibrant, complex tapestry of Lagos relationships. I might have been in the friend zone, but at least now I knew where I stood. And sometimes, in life, knowing is half the battle. This was my Lagos Wahala, and I survived it.